know.
All right, and we are back on How the Hair Are You? This is your host, Dr. Crystal Porter, and I am joined with my in-studio guest, who is a student here in Chicago State. Her name is Alicia Nesbary. So thank you so much for coming in again. So we were actually talking about you and your natural hair experiences. And one of the things so you have your hair out and you were saying that you felt like you didn't want to have your teeny weeny afro, basically.
Yes.
And so you grew it out with the weave at least until 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you know what your hair texture is like, what would you classify it as? Are you familiar with the Andre Walker classification?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to put a designation to it, what would you say it is?
I would say it's between a 4A and a 4C.
Okay. Oh, so it's not 4B?
I mean a 4B and a 4C.
Oh, okay, a 4B and a 4C.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
And then some sections are between a 4A and a 4B. So it's like a great mixture. So the crown of my head is more use than the back and the sides.
Wow, I have the opposite. My crown is the most coarse, tightest. Yes, anytime people say that I need a touch-up, even though I've been growing it out for over 3 months now.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's all about the products you use, so I'm okay. You know, the two textures aren't bothering me yet. But, yeah, so you have the opposite.
Yeah.
And I do. So loosening the crown, that's, to me, a blessing. Because the hard time I have with my crown is just ridiculous. Yeah. So how do you deal with the two textures? I mean, you wear it loose and it's not obvious to me that the crown is looser than the rest.
Yeah, so it took me a long time to get to this point. At first, I would spend hours and hours and hours on my hair. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why is it taking me so long on my hair? And I only had like 4 inches at the time, and it would take me so long.
But what were you doing after you came out of the weave?
So after I came out of the weave, remember I still had perm ends, so I finally she chopped the rest of those off, and that's when my texture was, it became easier after that actually, after she freed me of my perm ends. So after that I would wear a lot of twist outs. Yeah, it was just primarily twist outs, so I would do a twist out every week and wear it like that.
But you say you spent hours doing it.
Yes, because the product is what makes the difference.
Okay.
So I was using the wrong products. I was going to Target, getting stuff off the shelf, and because the stuff that was working for my perm hair wasn't working for my natural hair. And so, like at the time, it wasn't popular. Like all of these natural hair product lines weren't really out. It wasn't really trendy and hot. So I was trying to just go with the curly hair products, and that really wasn't working either. So it was a lot of give and take with the trying out products.
Okay, and so do you think it's the same now though? Because you said you were going to Target. You don't think there are products in Target that they sell now that would be beneficial?
Oh, definitely.
Now,
yes,
but not then.
Well, Hello Hydration, the Herbal Essence Hello Hydration, I didn't discover that until later.
Essence.
Yeah, that is one of the best detangling conditioners I've ever had. And so, because it gives me so much slip and I can just pour it in my hand. It's just cheap. So that was like my go-to for a long time. So that's what helped me actually grow my hair out, because I wasn't pulling and breaking it.
Okay. So now you have longer hair. It's much longer than 4 inches.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take you as long.
No.
So how long would you estimate your hair is right now?
I would estimate it, last time I measured, it was between 16 and 17 inches.
Okay. And so how long does it take you to do it now?
Now, I'm in the shower for 40 minutes. I braid it up and that's it.
So you wash it in the shower.
Wash it in the shower, condition it in the shower, detangle it in the shower, put it in about 6 braids, and that's it.
And all of that takes 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Okay. Okay. And about 6 braids. Okay, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but the other thing is, after I take it out the 6 braids, manipulating it again to, put it in a style. So I just let it dry in the 6 braids.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I get lazy and just take it out and wear it, but then it's dry because I didn't put any kind of leave-in or oil to seal. So.
Oh, you don't do that in the shower?
No, I don't do that in the shower.
Oh, so right after the rinse out conditioner, you don't put a leave-in in?
Nope.
Oh,
I just
wow.
braid it right up.
Ooh.
That's bad, right?
Well, your life would probably be a little easier if you at least had a leave-in before you braid it up.
Yeah.
So when you take it off, it's not just bare. I mean, you have a rinse off, which it does coat the hair to some degree, but it's very difficult for a rinse out conditioner to provide you with the slip lubrication you need after it's been taken down.
I definitely feel the difference when I don't use a leave-in, but a lot of times I'm lazy, and so.
Wait a minute, I don't understand, because you're braiding it anyway, so you can't just take a leave-in.
In the shower.
So as you're sectioning it off, and here's my setback, I am not a cosmetologist, however, I know enough about products. I know enough about products, but as far as like doing hair and making it beautiful, like I said, I did my kids' hair. That was enough.
That's where I like too. So the 6 braids, and then I just take it out and it's this big afro, and it's like, okay, I'm okay with that. When I'm going somewhere, I'll put a little bit more time and effort into it, but this is just my go-to style. 6 braids, take it out, and go. And I repeat it every week.
Nice to be so carefree. That is nice. I'm not sure if I'm there yet to be as carefree. I like to, I don't know, I haven't found the style being natural, and that was so many years ago, but still, when I was natural, I just didn't experiment enough. I wasn't natural long enough to experiment. And like you said, it's all about the products, and I didn't find a product that made it easier, so that was like a kind of a setback for me.
Well, my styles when I had complete virgin hair and I didn't put anything, no color, and it was black, was totally different from now. Because the color has affected how my hair hangs. So it's much easier to detangle my hair now from when I didn't have any color in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Glad you said that. Because most people don't realize, unless they're really into hair or they're a cosmetologist, but you're absolutely right. When you lift the color in the hair and use a lightener, it definitely does have a high enough pH where it does relax the curl somewhat. But the downside to that is, yes, it's relaxing the curl, but then you're also making the hair a little weaker.
Yeah.
And you also are affecting the surface properties where it is more dry. You're removing the natural lipids from the surface of the hair. So, yeah. So you do have to counteract that. So, yeah, it's a little looser, but then you have to take more
put
care.
a lot of moisture in it. So I definitely do. I see the difference. So it will break more when I don't use that leave-in the oil, and I don't keep it moisturized. So, yeah.
Awesome. So, we hear a lot about women, black women in particular, who grow their hair out natural and they wear curly. Some of the social challenges they have. So I don't know if you experienced that at U of I.
Definitely.
Oh, you did?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Really?
Yes.
Tell us.
So, like I said, I did the big shop at a time where it wasn't popular. So, I didn't have, my sister next to me that did the big shop too. I was literally the only one. And so, I just remembered just feeling so self-conscious about my looks. I'm like, oh, I feel like a little boy. And I felt like I had to compensate in other areas. So, like, wear bigger earrings and wear makeup. I'm really not a makeup wearer every day. It's not like my daily routine. So I just found myself like getting up earlier and putting on makeup. And I remember it being the really big challenge when we would like go to the little parties on the campus. And my friends, they would still get attention from guys, but I wasn't getting any attention from guys. So I'm like, oh, it's in my little afro.
Oh, that's heartbreaking to hear. Especially being at that age where you're still, well, I think at that age, you're still finding yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So it wasn't until
and you were the only one?
I was the only one. Because everybody else was just, I don't want to say conforming, but nobody was really thinking to go natural. And so I was the only one, and the only other people that were natural just weren't in my social groups. Like, those were the people that were like extremists, you know, like pro-black. I'm going to be in the black circles, you know, like those are those kind of people. So I never really hung around them. And so,
you didn't hang around the pro-black people.
You know, like yeah. So I was a part of the group, so I wasn't really a part of that group, like the extreme, you know, like Kente Club, where, you know, like yes. I wasn't all the way there, so I'm like, oh, I don't have them to support me, but I was like in my social group, I was the only one, and you know, it was already a small population of black people that you alive.
Yeah. So, any teachers or professors say anything or ask you about your hair? Did at least people within your social group, did they compliment you on your hair? How did that go? Or they said nothing? I can't imagine not saying anything.
It was a lot of, oh my gosh, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And you gonna get a perm? You wearing your hair like that? So it was a lot of that in the beginning, or just calling my hair nappy. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, why is it so much? I realized how much self-hatred there. Like, why would you comment on how nappy my hair is, or it's just the way I decide to wear my hair, and this is just how it naturally grows. And then it was like, oh, you know, you're gonna have to change your hair because you want to get a job.
Well, who told you that though? Who was telling you that?
You know, these are just older black women.
Okay.
I remember when I graduated and I got a job at Macy's, and it was this older black woman. She kept coming to, I worked at the fashion fair counter. I'll never forget. And this older black woman came up. She kept coming up to me, and
did she work there? Or was
no,
she
was a customer. And so she would come every week, and we would talk. And so one week she finally came up to me and told me why she was coming to visit me every week, and it's because she said she wanted to teach me how to be decent. She said, "You see my hair? It's curled. I want to teach you how to do your hair like this." I was like, well, "Lady, I decided to wear my hair like this on purpose. I don't need you to teach me how to do my hair." So it was a lot. It was a lot.
How long did it take her to give you that feedback?
About 6 weeks. About 6 weeks. And then after that, I didn't see her anymore. I had to tell her, like, I'm not this lost girl. Like, I just graduated from college. I wear my hair like this on purpose. So, yeah.
So she thought that you just didn't know what you were doing,
No.
and that you needed some guidance.
Yes. Yes. Because she felt like I was unkept.
Oh, boy.
I was like, wow, that looks pretty bold.
Well, I have to say, I do believe that I don't know how old this woman was. I know you said she was older.
60s,
Okay.
at least.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I find that women in their 60s who aren't used to this revolution,
Mhm.
yeah, they find it very hard to embrace sometimes. Now, there are some who have just cut their hair off and they have embraced it, but I think that that's a much smaller population than the ones who feel that, like you said, you should wear your hair curled or in a particular style that is probably more structured, I'll say.
Yeah.
Wow. So you had, it seems like from what you're saying, more pushback from black women.
Definitely. Because I worked with a whole bunch of white women. They loved my hair. I would come in and they go, "Oh, Alicia, I love your hair today. It's different. And I wish I had that much volume." Because, you know, they just look at the volume and they want the volume because a lot of them, their hair was thin and they could only wear one style. So they love the versatility of my hair and how much volume I had. So They loved it. It was the black women that just they couldn't identify with it being beautiful.
Is it still the same, do you think?
I think that we have a lot more support.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more visible.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women are embracing their hair. So I think that it helps now. It helps the person that is thinking about the big chop actually do it because she has so much support. But when I did it, it was like no support. Or if it was support, I didn't know about it because it wasn't mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was a big challenge that I had. I was just figuring everything out by myself.
I commend you for doing it and, being by yourself and having to deal with those social pressures because not everyone can deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of the time that it took you to do your hair, because as I said, that's something I just couldn't handle. My lifestyle did not allow, well, it still may not allow. I'll see how long this goes. I'm not promising anything. But for sure, I definitely commend you for that. But I do, in the next segment, we're going to take another break. And I want to talk, because you talked about black women, I want to talk about black men, because they have some very strong opinions about our hair in particular. So stay tuned when we get back, but also in the second hour, we'll talk about his WEN products, because I've been getting a lot of questions. Oh, what do you think about that WEN lawsuit? And I'm talking about WEN products because they were sued by 200 women. They were accused of having products that broke their hair off or led to hair loss and balding. And so I want to talk a little bit about that because I want to talk about the makeup of the product and how that can affect hair. So our second hour, we got some things that you want to definitely tune into. So please come back and we'll see you on the other side.
So funny.
We'll be back.